Okay, so today is a strength class. We've just got some weights. I have a mat on the floor over here, and ourselves. And you should always have anything close by that you feel like you might want to make use of, but that's about it. And yes, just to note, you'll probably hear beeping and knocking things around in the background. We're having work done on our house, so don't be scared. Don't be scared. Okay, so we are gonna start standing here. Weights are close by. I just pushed my mat out of the way for a minute because I don't need it just yet. So I have sneakers on today. Sneakers are completely optional. My sneakers are so comfortable and they feel so good on my feet that I wear them all the time. They're Hoka's. Anyway, I'm not affiliated with this company whatsoever. So I'm going to come on up to stand. I've got my heels together, toes apart. Standing parallel is a great idea as well. And we're just going to bring our hands to our shoulders for a minute. Fingertips to shoulders. And push your shoulders up into your fingertips. And then gently push your fingertips down into your shoulders and let your shoulders come down. We're going to add a little bit of a breath here. This is gentle. Inhale as you bring your shoulders up into your fingers. And then exhale as you fingers down into shoulders. 2 more like this. One more time. Now you're going to keep the left hand on the left shoulder, and you're going to bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. The shoulders don't move when we're stretching out the neck. It's really just the head. If you want to gently increase your stretch, I am really just bringing the weight of my hand on my head. I'm not pulling. And again, I'm not going all over to the side. I'm really just isolating this stretch through the side of the neck. And then you can gently turn your head to look slightly to the right, and you'll feel that length in the back of the neck as well. And then you can come back to look forward again and come up towards the center. Just rest the arms down. And now we'll bring the right hand to the right shoulder. So you're keeping that shoulder right there. It's just kind of a little tactical reminder. And then I'm letting my head come over to the left. And then I'm gonna add that gentle, I'm not pulling. It's just a little bit of extra pressure. And then I'm gonna even look down a little bit. It's so tight for me. If you're anything like this, we need to just figure out a way to release it a little bit. And then come back again to looking straight ahead. And then standing up nice and tall. And now I'm gonna bring my thumbs behind my tush, reach down through my fingertips, and I'm gonna let my head roll through the center, a nice easy kind of half circle, and then back again. One more each way. You're breathing. And other side. And then back to the center, and we'll just do a little bit more mobility work. We'll look over the right shoulder and slightly behind. And again, the shoulders are just right here. It's just the head and the eyes that are kind of most aware, and then back to center and then over to the left. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And center and right. And center and left. And center, and then come back down, okay? So a nice little neck warm up. We're gonna be doing some other work today on the floor. And I didn't write this in the write-up for this class, but if at any time this stuff that we're doing becomes challenging, or like you're working too hard in your joints, your neck, your parts, you'll know it. It'll feel intuitive. Grab a chair or come closer to a bed or a desk to help yourself, okay? You'll see why in a minute. We're gonna practice kind of coming down onto the floor and then coming back up again, okay? So I'm just gonna stand up just like I am. And then I am going to come down to the floor in a way that I think I usually do. I'm going to bend my knees and bring my hands down in front of me, and then I'm going to kind of walk forward and lower my knees down. Getting down for me at this moment just kind of looks like this. And then to come back up again, which I'm not going to do all the way just yet. I'm going to step one foot forward, and then I'm going to use my hands around this foot and step the other foot forward and come on back up again. Okay? So there's a lot of ways to do this. We're going to practice just a little bit coming down and getting back up again. Let's do that a couple more times. And just to give you a visual, maybe if you need a little bit of extra help, maybe there is a chair close by. And that's how you help yourself come down all the way and then back up again, okay? And some of us have parts that are a little quirky. We've got to be careful with getting down and coming back up again, but this is a nice way to practice. I'm going to do this 2 more times. Jed, what do you need?
I need help.
I cannot help you because I'm teaching my class, okay? I'll be up in a little bit. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Keep going. The reason why I'm doing this is because I noticed this week when I was at the studio that getting down and getting back up again for some people is quite easy, and for other people is not easy at all. And I think one of the reasons is that we stop practicing, right? We stop practicing this. It gets harder. Something doesn't work as well, the knee, the hip, the foot, and we stop doing it, right? We stop practicing. We've got to figure out a way to get down and get back up again. I'm going to do this one more time, and I'm going to stay down here. I'm going to ask you guys to stay down here with me for a moment. And we're going to practice getting up in a slightly different way. If you've got your chair next to you, use it whenever your body tells you to, okay? I'm going to come up on my knees. I'm going to bring one of my feet forward. I'm going to curl my back toes forward. And this is how I'm going to press myself up. And then I'm going to come back down. So there's the chair, right? That's when you would use it coming up and coming down. I'm going to practice this with the other leg. So I'm going to bring the leg that's up down to the mat floor and the other one forward. I'm going to curl the back toes forward and come up. And then back down. So there's reasons, the other reason why you can't do this, perhaps, I'm going to switch and do each leg one more time, is if you don't have full mobility in your knee, something like this. What I'm getting at is at some point we might have to come up off the floor. And for some of us, this is very easy right now. For some of us, it's not. It's a good thing to practice and to keep into your mind. My mom doesn't have full mobility in her knee, so she can't do this. Like, she literally can never do this again in her life, right? And that's what it is. That's just what it is. But I just want to throw out there to you that this is a skill that is worth holding on to. Even if you're like shitty at it and it's hard, we don't have to hurt ourselves doing it, but it's nice to practice a little bit, okay? That's it. That's all we're gonna do. If this felt problematic and stressful to you, shoot me a message and I'll help you, okay? I love you. Okay, now, now we're gonna grab some weights and do some squats. We're gonna grab some weights. I'm gonna grab 5s. Normally I think I would even start heavier than that, but I really have to warm up the back. So I'm gonna grab my 5s and start there and see how it feels. Okay. Toes are forward. You get a side view to remind you to send your hips back and sit back into your imaginary chair and then push back up again. Okay, so we're just gonna do some warm-up squats here. Peek at your knees to make sure they're wide enough. One of the things I'm kind of learning about squats is the knee staying over the toes is a little bit of an outdated cue. The knees staying over the toes. So if you're like, oh, I've never even heard that before. I think I've said it before. Keeping your knees over your toes, it's because we want you to stick your butt out. But if your knees come further past your toes, that's a normal amount of mobility for your ankle, okay? What I care more about is that your knees are as wide as your feet. So keep adjusting until you can push up and find your glutes and just, move at a range of motion that feels like it makes sense for you. I'm always driving the heels down to come up because functionally we just really need our glutes to play the role there, okay? Let's do 5 more. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. 1 more. Okay, and now I'm gonna bring my feet wide, toes wide, chest nice and lifted, so it's a little bit of a sumo move. I usually bring my weights together in front of my chest, just so I can keep my upper body as upright as possible. And we'll bring the knees wide and press back up. Nice deep breaths. Shoulders get to be relaxed. 10, 9, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. And then come on up. I'm just gonna rest my hands right down by my sides, open chest, chin in a little bit, heels, up, down. Adjust your feet if you need to. Up, down, 8 more. 8, and 7, 6, 5, falling forward, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, and then coming down. I'm gonna toe heel back in, toe, heel, hard on a rug. Okay, and then we're gonna come back. So now we're gonna do another squat variation. I'm gonna stay exactly where I'm at with weight-wise. If you wanna continue to climb up with your numbers, go for it. You have my permission. So a slightly different squat variation. Let's start this. Bring your left or right foot slightly behind you, like it's a little bit of a kickstand. Think, push through the front of one foot and the heel of another. And then you're sending your hips back and pushing up with both feet. I feel it more in the heel, leg. So for me, I'm pushing up with my right heel. A little wobbly. And so I feel the glute a little bit more than I feel my left leg. Or maybe I just feel them in different places. We're gonna do 5 more. 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Switching legs. Right foot down, left foot kickstand. My heel and my toes are kind of aligned-ish. So when I bend my knees, my hips go back. And yeah, now I'm feeling that left glute a little bit more than the right. Inhale, exhale, 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, and then come back, okay? Coming back here, so fun. Coming back here, weights to chest, lift the chest into the weights, relax the shoulders. So we're gonna find our sumo squat and hold. Heels. 1, 2. 1, 2. Belly is in. 5 more. 5 and 4. 3, 2, 1 and ooh, all the way up, all the way down. Heel toe your way back in. Okay, when you get there, feet parallel to one another. We're gonna do like a little feet that run in place exercise. I like to come down a little bit, and then it's like you're rolling through the feet, but the rest of the body is still. Rolling through the feet, but the rest of the body is still. Chest out, booty out a little bit. Arms are just nice and straight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down and come up. Take a nice deep breath. One more set of just kind of a regular squat variation. I'm gonna keep my arms by my sides. I may change that, let's see. So come into your squat, so knees about as wide as that 3rd or 4th toe. Stick the booty out, arms are just right here. I think I'm gonna bend the arms actually, like we're about to do a tricep move, kind of like this. And I'm gonna walk to the right for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back again. 4, 3, 2, 1. So maybe the width of your mat. 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. Come back to center. 1, however many it takes you. Hold there, hold there. Little pulse. 10, 9, 8. Find your tushy. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. Take a breath. One more sumo situation. Don't get mad. It's gonna be fun. Come back with the weights. Chest lift into weights. Shoulders relax. We've got this here. Okay, so I'm gonna keep my upper body where it is for the moment. I'm gonna widen my knees a teeny bit. Pull my head directly under the line of my head. And now the upper body will move right and left and right. My legs are burning too. 2 more, we got this. And 2, 1 more each way. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna step in. That whole heel toe situation sounded like a big deal. And then heels together, toes apart. You can do parallel if you like that better. Palms forward. Heels are gonna come up and down. See if you could use all your toes. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Deep breaths. 8, 7, 6. The legs should be nice and long here. You should definitely feel this in the tush as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, and down, okay? All right, hold here. So I'm gonna do now some stuff that incorporates some arm things. So this is still an appropriate weight for me. If you need to dial it back or forward, please do that whenever you want to, okay? So we're gonna now do a little bit of one leg work. I'm gonna shift my weight into my left leg first, stand tall into my left leg, and bring the right knee up and down. Right knee up and down, okay? So that's the way the legs go. I'm gonna bring the hands right up to the shoulders and just kind of support the weights. And then I'm gonna add my left arm. And again, 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, and down. Come all the way down here, take a breath. Side 2, shift into the opposite leg. We can get right into where we're going. We'll start with the leg first. Let's do about 4 or 5 of these just to warm up that right standing leg. And then we'll add the arm. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come all the way down. Roll the shoulders. We're gonna do a little arm/leg thing here in a minute. So we just did one leg up. So we're gonna change it a bit, soften the knees. And I kind of like this bent elbow position. So get your upper arms in line with your side body and get your weight into your heels. I'm gonna extend one leg and the opposite arm. So right arm, left leg, and then return. And then opposites here. And back. One arm, opposite leg. When you stretch your leg back, make it a nice, strong, sort of like opportunity to feel the back of the leg. Abdominals are in. And we're gonna pick up the pace, but try not to lose the sort of precision. Let's do 5 more. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2. I'd like you to stop with your right arm up and your left leg back. Your right arm up. Oh gosh, I'm so confused. That's what I mean. Right arm, left leg. Left arm, up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. Right arm back, right leg back. Now the right arm is pulsing. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come all the way back in. Sorry if that was confusing. And then come all the way back down with your arms. Quick little head circle here, because why not? Feels nice. And then go back to center. Okay? Feet hip distant again. Soft knees, tushy back. Arms kind of straight ahead. The minute I lift my arms up, I have to pull my abdominals in to support the low back. Like you're pulling open a bow and arrow, there's a little twist here, and then you'll switch to the other side. Yeah. And 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Come back to center and come all the way up. Just stand for a moment. I want to do a little wrist thing here. Arms are nice and long, chest open, shoulders relaxed. Just the hands. Curl the knuckles in towards your thighs. Try and keep the rest of the arm relaxed. And then bring the knuckles out, right and left. In and out. My forearms are sore right now because I spent a couple of hours over the weekend pulling Ivy, not my daughter, the vine, out of the ground. That is a workout, you guys. I had to take a lot of breaks. Anyway, so we're just using the wrists and the hands here. And come out, we're gonna do 3 more. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Okay, good. I'm gonna put the weights down just for a minute and wiggle the fingers around. I'm gonna come back to those weights in just a moment. Little jazz hands. So I'm gonna come back to one of the movements that helped us to come down off the floor, and that's kind of like a split squat type position. We're gonna bring the left leg forward and the right leg back. Having your feet wide enough is always really helpful. And if your chair is helpful to you at certain parts when you're doing split legs like this, just grab your chair and keep it right next to your right hand for this first part. So the right knee is bent, left leg is back. This may be a stretch for you right now. See if you can get your left heel down for this moment and the right knee forward, and lift your chest and stand tall. Maybe we can do this. This is just a really nice way to lengthen out the right flexor, hip flexor. The deeper you bend your left knee, the more intensely I think you'll feel it. Shoulders, let's chill them out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna come back down. So now I'm gonna lift the back heel. And I'm gonna soften the back knee, pretending my upper body goes straight up and down instead of forward and back. And I'm gonna practice bringing my knee towards the ground. And then back up again. When you come up, think energetic on the way up, like you really want to get to the top. Inhale down, and then back up. We're gonna do 6 more. 6, and 5. And I'm gonna practice coming all the way down, so you can try that as well too. 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. Arms down. Okay, how do you know if you shouldn't go all the way to the ground? If you're having like shooting pains somewhere, or if you didn't first practice going halfway for a while. Don't forget that there's the space in the middle where you practice getting there. Okay, so just go to that place that feels like it's more doable. Feet hip distance. Let's get the stretch first. Back heel down, front knee bent, flexor, lift the chest, maybe arms up, deep breath. I have to send you guys some pictures of what I'm looking at right now. It's a giant excavator. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, I'm gonna try keeping my arms wide. Lift the back heel, front knee stays bent, down, and up. And again, energetic on the way up. Up. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, and 5. Another thing you can do is put a yoga block under your knee, by the way. 4, that of course brings the ground up a bit. 3, 2, last one. Whew, that side's harder. And then step forward, okay? I'm gonna practice that more. It's good. Okay, so feet a little bit wide. Let's just find a little bit of a stretch into the pelvis here. I'm gonna keep my feet wide, hips go into one direction, and then in the other direction. So that's a big stretch for me in the muscles and fascia that goes up into the pelvis. One more each way. And then come back to center. So we're gonna move down and do some stuff on the mat. I'm likely gonna use my 8s and my 10s, so I'm gonna get them ready. I'm also gonna put my mat out, and I'm gonna practice coming down to the mat in the way that we did in the beginning of class, okay? So I'm gonna kind of just try, there's no rules here. How do you wanna come down to the mat in a way that creates awareness? This is how I'm coming down to the floor. And maybe this is a way that I could come back up again too, who knows? Okay. Yeah, see? Oh. Let's do a little cat-cow. That sounds like a nice idea. You can come to your hands and knees, hands under shoulders, maybe knees and feet together. Push down through the palms, round your spine, and then arch, and round, and arch. One more each way. And arch. Good. And then come back to the center. I'm going to keep my knees where they're at. I'm going to walk my hands forward, and I'm going to bring myself into a modified plank. I'm just going to hold here for a moment. So this is probably 2/3 easier than a real plank, perhaps, which is great because you can think about what's happening. Lift your chest. Aim your elbows back. Use your fingers. Lengthen that neck. Abdominals. Glutes. Dreams. Happiness. Leisure. Oh, just kidding. Take one more breath here. And then stretch back. Big old breath. Inhale, exhale. And we're gonna try it again. Come back. This time a little different. Maybe, you'll decide. Okay, so modified plank. So I'm able to think about what I feel in a place where things are a little bit more sustainable. Push down through the fingers, the palms, elbows are looking back. I'm lifting my chest. This is going well. I can choose to add a little bit. I'm gonna extend one of my legs and then bring it back down. And then the other leg and bring it back down. One more each way. And come on back down, other side. And come on back down. Big stretch. Okay, one more. One more variation. Wiggle your wrists if you want. Last one here. Okay, this one's gonna be a bit different. You can bring your hands a bit more central, so mine are not as wide as they were a moment ago. And I'm gonna aim again my elbows back, drawing the abdominals in, lifting the chest. Shift your weight into your right hand a little bit and pretend like you wanna pick your left hand up, but don't do it. And then shift your weight into your left hand. Pretend like you wanna pick your right hand up, but don't do it. One more each way. Don't lose all your good stuff, all your length and your belly and your lift. Shift back and forth a couple of times. Maybe you do pick up a hand and bring it out to the side. Maybe, I don't know. One more each way. And come all the way back. That was exciting. One more inhale, exhale. Okay, so now we're gonna flip it over. And again, I want my weights next to me. So I'm just gonna continue to make that happen. Okay, so I'm gonna come down onto my back. When I get down there, I'm probably gonna grab my 8s first. Isn't it nice, that moment? Let yourself just have a couple of deep breaths into your belly. 2 more. One more time. Okay, so I'm going to roll to the side so I can carefully grab these weights, pull them in towards my center, and then roll back to my side. And I'm going to start with my feet on the mat, relatively close to my tush, elbows right by my sides, lengthen out through my spine, and then both arms are going to come up and then back down by my sides. And we'll just do this 10 more times. Just like this. Just check out your wrists and make sure your wrists are nice and long. 9, which basically means that like your knuckles aren't reaching east and west, they're reaching up to the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold up here and we'll do our one arm variation. So one comes down and then you kind of switch midway. As one comes up, the other one goes down. Take your time and control it. And up. Your midsection is nice and still. 5 more. 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1. Come all the way down and all the way down. Take a nice deep breath here. Lengthen out through the spine. Inhale, exhale. Okay, come on back up. So now we're bringing the elbows up nice and wide, long through the neck. Okay, so this is like a 2-for-1 deal. Abdominal work is happening. We're not just forgetting about your midsection. Think about drawing the abdominals in. Bring the weights together. Give them a little bit of a tap over your chest or your chin. And then control that little journey on the way down. Tap and down. Tap and down. 8 more. 8 and 7. 6. 5, 4, don't hold your breath, 3, 2, hold at the top, hold here, 1 at a time, down, and switching as one comes up, the other one comes down. Please pay attention to what's happening with your abdominals. 4 more, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Come all the way back down, back in, and come back to start. Arms by your sides. Just wiggle your fingers for a moment. Inhale, exhale. 1 more deep breath there. And then come on up. Okay, tricep. We've done some tricep in class today, but we're going to do 1 more set right here. Arms start straight. My weights are together. And then bend. 10 more. 10. 9. Long neck. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3, 2, 1 more, and then down. Bring your weights towards your belly and your chest, and then just carefully roll to the side and put them down. Push them down. Weights are going to come as wide as feet are going to come as wide as your mat, and bring your feet relatively close to your tush again. Arms can come out a little bit wider too. A little bit of space between your side body and where your hands are. And you can push up through your heels Hips come up. Let's add an exhale on the way up. 10 more. 9. 7. 6. Knees are as wide as your ankles. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1 more. All the way down. Walk your feet in. Just for a moment, bring the feet together and the knees wide. And maybe bring your arms into a capital Y position. One more deep breath. And then come on down, and then knees up. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my 10s. We're gonna do just a little bit more arm work, and then I'm gonna use the weights to do a little bit of abdominal stuff. Let me get my 8s out of the way. Okay, so I'm gonna extend my arms up, and then kind of push the weights together. And find those good core connections even before we move, right? So think about where your hips are, drawing your belly button and your ribs in towards your center, and then keep that feeling as you bring one leg up at a time. So this is simple, this is easy, but this is a way for us to practice keeping the pelvis nice and still and the abdominals in as you lift your leg. A lot of people let the ribs splay out and the belly button poke out towards the ceiling. So just kind of keep those 2 points pulled in. The next time you bring one of your legs up, you can leave it there. Really energize your arms and bring the other leg up too. So now we're going down from being up. Down from being up. Down. Long arms. 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Put both feet down. Bend the arms, hold here for a second, take a breath. We're gonna do another set of just pressing the arms up to the ceiling, like kind of like a row, knuckles to the ceiling again, okay? Try not to sink in your wrists. We're gonna do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm going right to the wide elbow variation. And 10 more here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back down, resting the weights on my hips. This could be heavy for your pelvis. If it doesn't feel right, just put one of the weights to the side and continue to load up with maybe a little bit of weight as you do a bridge here. I'm just gonna hold the weights right on the, like kind of the tops of my thighs. Lower lift here. Tushy squeeze at the top, 10 more. 10, 9, push through the heels. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Put the weights down for a sec. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, come on up. We're going to bring the weights to the ceiling one more time. I'm just gonna keep the weights here. Extend the arms. We're coming back to another abdominal situation. So belly is in, arms are energetic, and then the legs are gonna come up. Belly button is in. I'm gonna keep my arms straight, chin to the throat and curl forward. You've gotta send your shoulders away from your ears so this doesn't become like a terrible neck situation. The weights are kind of helpful in a way. For me at least. If it's not for you, please put them down. 6 more. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1 more. Come all the way down. Okay, carefully put your weights to one side. Drop them off. Drop them off. Let's do our favorite stretch. So yours may be different from mine, but mine is always the same. For this point in my life, this is my favorite stretch. Knees in one direction, head in the other. Deep breaths. And then when you're ready, you can bring your knees over to the other side. Hearing all the work outside, and you know, every once in a while the house is shaking and all this. It reminds me, my husband and I lived in our first apartment together in Brooklyn, and you know, they were always doing work somewhere next to us. And this one day I was literally in my kitchen in my bra and a pair of sweatpants. And I was doing something and I realized that I could see through the wall into my neighbor's brownstone apartment. So that was an exciting moment. I'm like, oh, look at those guys. One more deep breath. And then we can come back to the center. Okay, we're going to flip over onto our bellies. Yeah, and I'm going to bring the arms, elbows out a little bit wide, hands kind of outside of my own head, and then my chin down and my forehead down. And let your pelvis feel kind of heavy. And imagine when you inhale, like you're filling up your whole lower back, lower to mid back area. One more deep breath. Okay. Find some length in your legs. Push down a little bit into your hip bones and your pubic bone, and then start to lift the head and the chest. I'm going to keep my hands down, pushing down a little bit through the palms and the elbows. Feels kind of nice, almost like a stretch through the upper spine. And then lower back down. When you lift your head, you can send your chin forward and your eyes up, and then on the way down, pull your chin back in and come all the way down. We're gonna do 3 more. Make sure you keep breathing. One more. Come down halfway. Look down at the floor. Arms can come up and down. Up. Heavy pubic bone. Up and down. Feel free to lift the legs if it feels intuitive. And down. 4 more. 4. And 3. And 2. 1 more. Hands under shoulders. And let's just sit back for 1 more. How about a wide knee child's pose? Take a nice deep breath. Good. Okay, so I'm going to practice coming up to stand in the way that we have been doing in this class. Please come up to stand however it feels right for you to do so, okay? For me, it meant like one leg forward, pulling the opposite toes under my foot, and then coming up. And then stepping forward, okay? But again, I said this earlier, if that feels very struggly to you, it's nice to have a game plan about getting down and up again. Okay, feet down. Feet down. Where else would they be? Arms up. You can hook your thumbs. Fingertips up, side to side. And other side. 1 more each way. Deep breath. And then come back to the center. Keep your arms up, but separate your thumbs. Relax your shoulders. Take an inhale, push down through the feet. And then slowly arms come down along the way. Shoulders relax, neck is long. Pushing through the feet, standing tall. Keep your arms heavy. A belly breath here. And exhale. Okay, we did it. Have a great day.